Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Bigger Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well during this Christmas break. Hope you guys are going to have a happy new year. I will try to do another one tomorrow or on New Year's Eve if I can. We are, I think, at December 29th today. So hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are conquesting. Hope you guys are continuing to follow God's word and your Creator's word and being able to continue to on this quest to become the best person you can, the best person possible, the most excellent person you can be, the highest value male you can become. Now we have a lot of obviously females who listen, but I'm kind of focusing a lot on the males. And I know I've talked to a lot of females in the past, and they've all agreed that males, you know, if they kind of heighten this game a little bit and focus on their goals, they become a lot more attractive. And so that's kind of what we're focused on. All right, so anyway, back we're talking about, let's go do some shoutouts real fast here. Kevin Kim, thank you, my friend. You got a couple of these. I'm going to talk about religion at some point. I know you sent one on that. Remington tufflips, thank you. I appreciate that. Planet World, Kataruna, thank you. Jimivcarfora, new listener, congratulations. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate comments, and thank you for being part of our group. Lightning the Dark, thank you, my friend. Righteous Pleasure, first video on SR, congratulations. I think Righteous is doing his own. Congratulations, my friend. Keep it up. Oki24, thank you. Kevin Kim again, thank you, my friend. Yati, thank you. Looking good for 62. I appreciate that, my friends. I appreciate that a great deal. Hopefully I'm giving some information you guys can go ahead and kind of use to kind of help yourselves get better as well. John Jennings, Arrested Development, be compensated. We'll talk about that. I'm still looking for more information on that, John, so I will get back to you on that. Gematria, 88 days at this point in time. I'm sure it's probably a lot higher now, but congratulations. Keep it up. Stuart Wagner, Jon the Dawn, and Mark Thuo, stay 62. I'm sure it's a lot higher than that now. Congratulations, guys. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, and we'll keep fighting along as we go through. All right, so our topic for today at 2 minutes and 30 seconds here is stop blaming other people during semen retention, or trying to do semen retention. So what do we mean by this? Well, let's kind of focus on the idea here is that one of the things that's important, and I know I've had several comments and feedbacks from people talking about how difficult it is, and this is very difficult. Some people don't take it seriously. Some people take it seriously. Some people think it's pretty easy to overcome. Others, like myself, know it's very difficult to overcome. Here's the key thing. The key thing in any kind of stoicism idea we're talking about here, and trying to the Fountain of Youth stuff from Keller, all that stuff we talk about goes back to one thing, and that's the fact that you have to take responsibility. This is the problem I think we have in our generations, in our young people, that we're teaching them the wrong way to do things. Our society is based, because of the imagery, because of the media, because of all the things we're seeing, based on a me generation. And I experienced the first me generation back in the 1960s, and everybody was going against all the establishment, and there were some poor things going on with the establishment. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you look at old Vietnam and why we got involved in that war and all that other kind of stuff, all those type of things. There's a lot of issues that could be discussed that were bad, and I'll be the first to acknowledge that. The me generation tended to try to say, okay, we're not listening to this anymore, we're going off on our own. Well, that's great, but anytime you do that, it's almost like getting rid of religion. If you get rid of religion, you got to have something to fill that gap, because people need to have something to believe in. Napoleon found this out way back in the French Revolution. He figured out that, he tried to get rid of it. And a lot of people try to get rid of religion. But they realize people need religion. People need to have some idea that there's an afterlife, that if they don't do what they need to do now, and follow the Lord and follow the commandments and follow all those type of things, then down the line in the next life and those type of things, they're going to end up, suffering from that. So that's why religion really becomes important when it comes to people trying to understand life. And without that, you lose all kinds of hope and morale. And, you don't want to lead a people like that. So I think Napoleon found that out. And I think when we're talking about these type of things, we realize that people have to have someone or something to judge by. In my case, it's Jesus Christ and my relationship with Lord. And I try to judge myself every day on those type of standards. What's the purpose, the sins, the commandments, those type of things? Am I following those? And obviously I fall short many, many times. But obviously, I get forgiven, and I'm always trying to do better and better every day. And the key is that you're doing better and better every day, but you've got to take responsibility. You can't be blaming other people. And unfortunately, because of all this, the type of world and the me generation we live in, what's happened is that people believe in self-pleasure or self-absorption. Everything is revolved around them. The world is revolving around them, and everything, no one else matters except them. But on the other hand, even though they take that approach, a lot of people feel like they're victims. And they blame other people for things that happen to them. So the issue really is that if you don't take responsibility for your actions, and you expect others to make you happy, in my opinion, you're going to live a very miserable life. And you see this all the time. People angry, upset, they're expecting others to make them happy, whether it's on, Twitter, Facebook, any type of things you're looking at. All these type of social medias really are generated to get people to feel good about themselves, but that doesn't really happen. It may happen for a short period of time, maybe. People smile, they see it, they see someone liking their photos, but it always generates an idea that there's something missing for the next time. This is why people are always lacking. They're lacking in this, they're lacking in that, they're lacking in money, they're lacking in cars, they're lacking in women or men. They're lacking in these things because that is short-term gratification. And the only way that you get longer-term gratification is you start taking responsibility. And taking responsibility means that, okay, I need to follow myself. No matter what happens around me, I have to follow my way. I have to get to the point where I have to say, these are my goals. I'm going to try to achieve these goals. And how I do that affects me. And then I have to take responsibility for the good and bad and things that I need to work on. And remember, everything you do that ends up looking like a failure is just something to use to succeed the next time. So you gotta look at this in a mental approach that's different than most people look at it. You don't look at failure as failure. You're looking at failure as just another bit of information to tell you, this is what you need to do to correct this. And so then you move on. And the second thing then, obviously, is you're not blaming other people for what's happening to you. I had 47 years of going back and forth, and I'm still at problems with monk mode at times, and I'm not perfect with that kind of stuff. And so I still fall off as well. So lots of things that I still need to work on as I'm doing this. But the one thing I can tell you is that one of the things I did correct was the fact that I did not blame other people any longer. I said, I've got to do this myself. And once you decide that you're responsible for yourself, then you can make the adjustments and changes you need to make. That's going to be the key. A lot of us are living still because we get influenced by this world out there that's a victim world, that no one's responsible. See, and the thing is, this happens because people don't have a creator. They don't have God in their life. Because if you had God in your life and you knew God was there, you would say, I'm not going to do this because my inside, my conscience, my guiltiness feels guilty because I know I'm going to do something wrong here. So when you know you have impure thoughts, right, and it starts with thoughts, then you've got to stop those thoughts. You've got to ask for forgiveness, and you've got to try the best you can not to do that. And that's when retention comes into play. Whether it's adultery, whether you're talking about basic types of thoughts, of images, you've got to control those things and understand God is working with you. Now, God will help you, give you ways out of situations, and make you flee if you have to, and make you stand up if you have to. But the point being is that you've got to realize that God is the standard. Your creator is a standard. Your religious teachings are the standards. You follow those, now you're taking responsibility. Because you're realizing I have to follow those. Someone else is not doing this for me. I'm doing this. I'm not going to be the victim if something happens that are bad. I'm just going to say, okay, I screwed up. Now I need to go back. And as I said, I screwed up for 47 years when it comes to releasing all the time. And I also still continue to screw up when it comes to monk mode at times. So I know what we're talking about here as far as screwing up goes. I'm very good at screwing up at times now. Vigor Warrior 2 is, received a doctorate. All kinds of great things has happened, but not after a lot of screw-ups. And still lots of screw-ups. I've had more screw-ups in my life than anything else. So the thing is that I understand how to overcome the screw-ups because I realize that it's my fault. And that's the issue that's different. This is why the approach is different when you think this way. When you're approaching it, now you're thinking, what do I gotta do different to change the outcome? And I did that many times. I've had to change the outcome because I realize it's got very little to do with things around you. And Stoicism talks about this. You can't control things around you. What you can control is the things inside of you and the decisions you make and how you behave from that point on. And once you start doing that, then you'll see different results come into play. And I think that's going to change the way you look at things. So you got to stop blaming yourselves when things go so bad and don't get discouraged, but also stop blaming other people. Kind of say to yourself, okay, I'm going to get better. I know it was my fault, but I'm going to stop right there and say, okay, let's move on. Don't blame anybody else. Don't be hard on yourself too much. You got to find that balance in between. But the idea is that don't blame other people for you going off and on a semen retention. This is your decision, and I think it's the right decision, in my opinion. I think this is a lifelong decision you make. And are you going to fall off at times? Yes, we've seen people do it all the time. I've done it for years. But the bottom line is, this is the lifestyle we need to have. And the better we become at it, the better and closer we get to God. And that's my final goal. And, 12 years from what I've been reading and understanding, I still have a long way to go. I think I'm in year 3 right now. But the idea is that you're eventually going to get to the point where this all becomes a lot less influential in your life. All the sex, all the pictures, all that thing become a lot less important. And as you get older, you'll see that as well, especially for some of our younger viewers. But as you young warriors get older, you'll realize that things are more controllable than you think they are from your end of it. Obviously, you think you can't control things. You can't control people walking in front of you half naked. You can't control pictures you see. You can't control people coming up to you and flirting with you. But as a male, you can control your response pretty easily. And this is the thing where you've got to do is have that connection with God saying, this is my responsibility. I'm not a victim here. I have to say, listen, I got to take responsibility. And the more we take responsibility as men, the stronger men we become, and the more vibrant and vigorous in our society we become. And that's what society needs right now. In my opinion, they need people who are strong, vigorous, can protect, can provide, and be those pillar points that people want. And I think if they become that way, the society, the world, and a relationship with God becomes much better. And this is where you've seen the problems on the opposite side, when people forget about God and they kind of go their own way, and they never want to take responsibility. And because they don't take responsibility, they become this victim no matter what happens around them. And because of that, it leads to a lot of depression, a lot of other things going on. All right, my friends, well, enough for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you guys had a great day today. Always remember 2 things, my friend. First of all, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And second, my friends, don't forget to